Namaskara. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the day 2 of the deliberations of the Vision Summit 2014. And we are starting the day with the presentation from the Government of Kerala. It's indeed a matter of great pleasure and privilege that Shri P.H. Kurian, the Principal Secretary, IT and Industries, Government of Kerala, is amidst us. Before Mr. Kurian takes over, a very brief insight into Shri Kurian. Well, he's one of the most respected IAS officers in Kerala. Way back in 1996, he was instrumental in the total sanitation project implementation, district sanitation projects, Nirmal 2000, which set the tone for all the sanitation projects in the country. And also, he has held several important positions in the government. More importantly, we all know about the landmark judgment of reducing the price of anti-cancer drug, Nexavar, which he was instrumental from 2,80,000 to a very low price of the common man's price of 8,000. So I think, ladies and gentlemen, we should give a round of applause for that, because the cancer drug has reached the nook and corners of our country because of him. And he's also very famously known in the IPR sector as Bullet Kurian, which means he takes quick decisions and implements the project very, very quickly, which is another good news for all of us. Because he's been respected, awarded twice as the most influential global personalities top 50 consecutively by the Global Magazine Managing Patent 2009-2010, and 40 public sector companies is under him. He's also the chairman of several companies. So all in all, we are starting day 2 with a win-win situation. So ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together and request Mr. Kurian. It's all yours, sir.
Good morning, friends. He spoke very high of you. I think he picked up from somewhere on the net. So many things appears these days about persons in the net. Something written by somebody get picked up by Google, and then you speak very well. I'm an ordinary public servant. My job is to really serve the public, whether it's in Kerala or where you are in Government of India, do some public job. That's all. This is a small part of that. My colleague Jaishankar Prasad is here. Dr. Jaishankar Prasad was with me. He was the director of IT mission. He would actually make a small presentation for maybe 10 minutes about what Kerala is and what we are doing now on the electronics and ESDF front. He will speak for 5-10 minutes, then I will be available for interaction. As you all know, Kerala is God's own country. We live very well there. But on industry or something, we are masters of public sector. We just now heard my friend speaking that I have 44 public sector under me. That's under industries department, but altogether we have more than 100 in Kerala. So we have, I think, something like another 10-15 states together, total number of PSUs we have in Kerala. So we run in that way. We have also a lot of private industries. Our SMEs are growing very fast for the last 5 years. Not many big, large manufacturing industries. We used to be home for a lot of electrical-based industries in the 50s because electricity was very cheap. It was the cheapest electricity in the country in the late 40s. So electricity consuming industries like a few chemical industries, the electrolysis, wala, zinc, and all those people came those days, and we had a big traditional industry base of coir, which was actually a global product in 2 centuries back onwards. Those things have become very traditional and came down now. In the modern industry, we have a very good base of IT industries now. ITES companies, a good number of them are there. Plus the Keltron, which was the first large-scale electronics company of the country, with so many products spread across Kerala. And their products, of course, going to different parts of India. The first Color TV, which went throughout India, is available here. That company did not retain its glory of 70s and early 80s later on, but still now they are trying to come back to its old glory by having more products coming into the market. A lot of their electronics products now go to the defense, so there is not much of public name and fame they had as they had in the 80s. Most of the niche products now go to the defense, different sectors of defense industry. That's it. I will ask Dr. Jaishankar Prasad to make a 10 minutes or so presentation before you. Thank you.
Good morning, all of you. I think I'll not take more than 5 to 6 minutes, and the IT secretary can follow up with that. Just to give the entire team, we have the Managing Director of Kerala Infrastructure Development Corporation, Mr. S. Ramnath here. We have the Managing Director of Keltron, as I said, he's also there. So we have the entire three people who are dealing with electronics. So whatever queries you have on my presentation, you can post it to them. So this is a quick thing about Kerala. I think all of you know about it, but a couple of friends yesterday asked us about where Kerala is and what is the details about this state. So that's why a quick view of 38,000 square kilometers of area. It's a 600-meter coastal line, 600-kilometer coastal line, and a very thin stretch of land. Very high rates of literacy, life expectancy, and all the other human indices that you talk about. A good English-speaking population and a consistent decadal growth over the last 10 years. Now this is what Sir talked about, that looking at our policy and the factor advantage parameters, we see IT and electronics on the, we have a lot of policy initiatives towards it, but the factor advantages were less, as what we are always told. So then how are we going to counter it? The point which we like to say is, we are trying to provide the connectivity, which again in the infrastructure development areas would do it. The operating cost, which the power tariffs we talked about, the taxes and other things, which probably Secretary can throw a little more light upon as we go along, and the special economic zones and the EMCs and the clusters, which we'll be talking about later in the day. Just to give you a picture of what the scenario looks like, the manufacturing, the infrastructure required for electronics, and the R&D kind of thing. So manufacturing, we had right from 80s when the Keltron was doing good, and a lot of private and enterprises came into play. A lot of them, like your SFI Technologies, which is a NES Group company, the OEN connectors, and later becoming FCI OEN. We had the BPL grow and develop there. So there are a lot of homegrown countries. There are a lot of other countries, companies which have come up there. We have the PSUs in Keltron, TEL, Traco, a lot of companies which are doing reasonably well. We have, in terms of infrastructure, the first electronics and technology park, which is the current techno park, which is happening there. There are a couple of the initial two industries were electronics industries, which came to this park. So it's not an IT thing. Currently, it is focused more on IT. Utilities, we said, like later I'll touch upon as how Kinfra is an internal licensee for their parks and other things for power, water supply. The logics and connectivity have improved over a period of time. The policies are generally pro-industry, at least now that things are changing in the state. Who are the people who play behind this? That is one is Kinfra, then there's the Kerala State Industrial Development Corporation, and then the Technopark, which are the major agencies have put it up here. The academia has been pretty strong in Kerala because education, health, and were a couple of sectors which are given a lot of importance even right from the time of independence onwards. So this sector is doing very well. Academia, industry interaction is there, but as we said, no major IP creation, no real growth from there. I think that's one area which we like to look at. The erstwhile ERNDC now becoming CDAC Trivandrum, the College of Engineering Trivandrum, the NIT or the erstwhile REC Calicut, and all of the colleges are there. The new things which are happening is the Technopark Technology Incubation Center, which is, as yesterday so pointed out, around 180 companies are being incubated, and they're still sustaining and running. Some of them really grown up and now become mentors to the new generation guys like the Startup Village and other incubation. So what are the areas that we can work on? EMC clusters and a lot of the infrastructure support, which if you are an infrastructure provider. R&D, if you are looking at R&D, human skills, yesterday I had a couple of queries on manpower, on specialized skills. I think that's one other area which we can really be good. There are innovation labs which are being set up, which can be spoken about. And if you are an existing unit or a unit looking to expand, these are the areas where we can currently work on. Moving on, these are the government players we talked about. Traco Cables, who work on cables. The TELC, which works on transformers, and Keltron. I think I'll go a little more detail into that. There's a map of India there, and that's how the marketing offices are spread around. It was associated with the electronics growth in Kerala from 80s onwards, when the peak time. The first state electronics development corporation in India, 40 years of service, 6 manufacturing centers. So they are open to joint ventures, leverages. I think Mr. Prasanna Kumar is here, so you can talk to them on that. Now, DITI has cleared an application for a manufacture of digital set-top box and the SIPs. And they are planning to set up a facility for sonar array for defense application, and a host of areas, which specialized areas where Keltron works on, in case you want to catch up with him on that. Defense electronics, space electronics, security and surveillance. The traffic management is one other area where you see a lot of Keltron things. Power electronics, solar, and LED lighting, these are some of the areas where they are moving on to right now. Now, I'm just giving another player. I didn't see them here, so I thought I'll just put a name in there. Very interesting to see that they are there in the third in terms of the 15 EMS companies to watch out for. These are independent researchers, and the other one was Elsinore first prize on the large scale thing. I'm talking about SFA Technologies, homegrown company from Kerala. So companies are, there was a question of perception of Kerala being very hostile towards industry. I think just to say counter that, I thought I'll just put a slide on this. Now, this is one of the topics which the Secretary would like to talk much more on. Why are we saying that there's a startup movement happening in Kerala? This movement has happened in the telecom industry. You see a 30 million population and a 30 million wireless subscribers. The wireless subscribers are 10% of that. Then still you have around a million broadband subscribers. So the reach is very high. The people are generally illiterate also. That is literacy, illiteracy, and now something more has to come out of it. That's where the R&D, the human skills have to be developed. Now, what has the government done on it? Government has put a 20% attendance and grace marks for, like you give for sports. I think we are giving for innovation. Then they're doing at a panchayat level, taking it to the grassroots level for all those frugal innovations. Then the subsidies for the high tech. Now, agriculture is one area where there's a lot of thrust being given. So can our electronics or the technology development reflect on our primary sectors? One of the sectors where we also trail behind. The technology innovation zone, which is again a pet project of the state, the current government, and almost everyone there in the Kerala, being talked about in around 10 acres of land in Cochin. This is hosting different verticals and R&D there, and the cross-pollination also would create much more rather than standalone innovations that we talk about. Now, the government is also providing built-up space for companies to just come and start up their activities. Now, what we are seeing is the economic, demographic, and the technological factors are taking it to a tipping point that's a point of a great revolution. Now the hard sell part of it. What is there for electronics manufacturing in Kerala? I think we can speak about generally what you want to look at. One is connectivity, physical and ICT connectivity. We're well connected on that. Land availability, and that is what Kinfra would do as a land bank of the industrial development. They'll have land available for you so that you don't have a hassle of just going and procuring, and every other utilities are given to your battery limits. Investor-friendly environment. The perception of being very hostile is wrong because our 20 Kinfra parks, the techno parks, the IT parks are all doing extremely well. No days lost, no man days lost. The so-called perception of a red-covered Kerala is, I don't think it's a valid thing now. Single window clearance by the Industries Department, the general surroundings is a good place to live, and no major national calamities, and the law and order situation is very better. Now, high social indices in terms of the literacy rate, high human development indices, all spoken about, so I'm not going to touch upon that. Different set of manpower in technology, arts, and science college. This mix will give you the earlier, which I said, the cross-pollination of different thoughts. Because innovation and all those breakaway innovation which you talk about needs different inputs, not just one serial straight line kind of thing. So this mix of colleges, centers of excellence will be a helpful thing on it. Now to talk about the specific supply chain that you are looking at in terms of manpower, 84 engineering colleges with 16,000 students.
16,000.
That is only for electronics and allied, sir. Yeah. So around 45,000 people passing out in engineering, but then 16,000 is on electronics and related things. Related means applied electronics, electrical and electronics, and all those things. 50 polytechnics, around 5,000 diploma holders in electronics and allied branches, more in other branches, but then I'm focusing only on electrical and electronics.